Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be speaking to an author whose book I have read, and they were also gracious enough to read my book. We'll be discussing the books that we have read of each other, and we'll be talking about our writing journeys and sharing little anecdotes from our writing journeys so far. Please stay tuned as I wait for my guest to join me and we can start today's episode. Okay, wow, voice is slow. Let me increase the volume. Is it fine now? Can you hear me? Let me pull the phone closer. Can you hear me now? Is the voice okay? Am I audible? I am waiting for today's guest to join the live so we can begin the episode. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Hello, Sameem. Okay. Okay, tell me about the audibility now. Am I audible? Hi, Wordsmith Reviews. Thank you for joining. Do stay connected. We have an exciting episode coming up today. I will be talking to a fellow author whose book I have read and enjoyed. It's been a while I did this author collaborative, so I am really excited about talking to her. Hello, Sukanya. Thank you for joining. I am going to add today's guest to the live and we can begin today's episode. Please do stay connected. I am waiting for today's guest to join me and we can start the conversation then. Hi, Tanvi. How
Hi,
are you?
Manali. Actually, your voice is very it is not audible exactly. It's very low.
Uh, so I asked in the comments and somebody has said that
Not
yes, you
audible.
are audible. I think that might be a problem with connectivity from your side.
I can't hear you actually.
Uh,
Is there anybody who can hear you?
uh, can you let us know, whoever is here with us, can you let us know in the comments if there is any issue with visibility and audibility? So I had somebody tell me that Wordsmith Reviews has told me that yes, you are audible. I can hear. Dheeraj has also said.
Should I join again because it is not audible for me?
Yes, you can join again. And somebody has also commented that they can hear both of us. So do one thing, leave and join again. I'll add you. There's some connectivity issue from Tanvi's side. We are going to wait for her to join. Both are visible and audible. Okay, Tanishka, thank you. And thank you, Dheeraj. We are just waiting for Tanvi to rejoin the episode so we can start the conversation. Please stay connected. Hello, Tina. Thank you for joining. I am waiting for my today's guest, Tanvi Agarwal, to join, and then we can begin talking about our books with each other. Please stay connected. It's going to be a really exciting conversation. Okay, she is ready. I'm going to invite her again. Let's hope uh, there would be no issue this time. Hi, Tanvi. Is
Yeah.
it
Hi,
okay now?
Manali. Now you're audible. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yes, perfect. Welcome to the Author Collaborative. This is so exciting for me because we have been discussing about doing this from a long time.
Yes, yes, exciting for me as well. I was like pretty much exciting, nervous, like it was all messy. I have never done live like this before.
It's okay. It's just like talking to a friend. We'll be fine. And we have a lot of encouraging comments from the audience already. So I am very motivated by that already. Thank you everyone for joining us. Do stay connected. Okay, Tanvi, before I go ahead, tell us about yourself. Tell the audience who you are and what are you doing today.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Manali, for having me here. It is a good opportunity for me to be here and let people know what I am and what I do. So, about myself, as my name like Tanvi Agarwal, I'm Tanvi Agarwal. I am a product engineer in front-end development as a by profession, and apart from that, I'm driven by my passion of writing. So, I have written two books. One is poetry, and the other is a self-help book. Poetry book is Surrounding Thoughts, and today we will be talking about one of my books, that is Unveil Life Secret. That is a self-help book, a non-fiction one. So that is about me. If you want to know more about my work and what all I'm reading, do check out my page Fragrance Site.
Yes. Oh, I could not have put it better. And since you have already talked about your book and you have told the audience that one particular book is going to be in focus, and that's going to be Unreal Life Secrets. And before we begin talking about it, I'm just going to show the audience the cover. This is what the book looks like, and I'm going to read out a few passages also so you will know what the book is all about. This is Tanvi's book, Tanvi's Life Secret, and it is such a beautiful cover. Like the girl standing at the window and she's looking out and pondering about life. देख के ही पता चल जाता है कि she's thinking about life and क्या चल रहा है मेरी life में. So I really like that cover. And on Tanvi's insistence, I am going to read out one particular chapter which she's really fond of, and that is the bonus chapter towards the end of the book. So, this is the bonus chapter, and this is how it begins. Why do I stay happy and optimistic? Since the coronavirus entered our lives, our perspective towards life changed. Life is unexpected, though we knew it but never thought about it until this virus opened our eyes. They say life is short, but we would never trust it and keep doing what we like without any sequence or plan. Indeed, it is true. I am also like this. I planned so many things and dreamed of many goals. But likewise, I forgot to devise a plan to fulfill all my pursuits and desires. I kept doing things that came my way and felt happy for accomplishing little things and simultaneously felt sad for not achieving a few things. With the extending period of this devil, I started realizing my goals to accomplish them on time. I rushed to plan the objectives and the sequence of fulfilling them. Though there were phases when it was difficult to bear the pain of losing something, hope held me for following the goal. Somehow, I left a few things feeling difficult to pursue from home and embraced a few others I did not think of achieving. I landed an internship for 3 months that would convert into a full time opportunity after this period. I continued from home and had to join the office in February 2021. After I shifted to another city to start a life in the corporate world, something unusual happened the first night of visiting my office. I'm going to stop here. It is like the perfect point to create curiosity in the mind of the readers. If you want to know what happens ahead after this, do check out Tanvi's book, Unveil Life Secret. Okay, Tanvi. Based on my reading of the book, I absolutely enjoyed reading the book. It is such a enlightening read. It's like a friend telling me how I should lead my life. Holding my hand and guiding me that ये मत करो, वो करो, ऐसे करो. So that was really nice. And based
Thank
on
you.
my reading of the book, and I have also been following your blog. So based on whatever content that I have read from your end, I have a few questions for you. Are you ready to answer them?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I thought now.
So my first question to you is that you have written two books. One is self-help and one is poetry, right? And
Yes.
tell us about the experience of writing these different genres and the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Okay, as you just read this chapter about like what are the struggles and how I just started, like that was the initiation that I have mentioned in my second book. What was the result of my first book? Like I thought I was not aware of publishing and marketing anything, but because of that particular incident, I was like perplexed what to do. Like I have to finish up my goal before I am finished. So I started working on my first book that was Surrounding Thoughts. That was poetry. I was unaware and I just tried to do everything on my own. On that book, the cover page is me. I just designed that cover page, how it will look like. and took one of my photos and edited that for the same purpose. Like specifically, I went to a spot and edited that picture accordingly as per the title, surrounding thoughts. So I was preparing to publish my book through KDP, Kindle Distribution Publishing. Because I was about to publish on that platform, but when I finished all the things, I realized in India it does not allow paperback. So I was
Right.
again like in the middle of like what I can do now. So I started looking for some publisher, and I knew one or two publisher. So out of those two, which I found like I did not go for traditional publishing at that time. I was unaware of that as well. I thought we have to pay to publisher and they will publish our book. So which was the cheapest? I chose chose that one, and I just got my book published, and there it was. So like being unaware of everything, I could not market my book, and I could only sell few copies of it. Then came the second book. That time I came up with a plan, like how things will go, and that was again another some genre that people will reluctantly pick until unless the title is very much attracting, or the blurb is very interesting for them. So I this time it was planned. So somehow it went to many people than the previous one. So that was
Right.
something that happened in my case. So like with every publishing, like with every book getting published, I'm learning few things and going ahead making it like if I say today, like today if I see, I can check like people if who read my second book now, they will they will know about my first book, they will also read the first one. And recently
Yes.
itself I have come across many people who have read and reviewed those books. That is what is the progressive steps towards publishing your books. That
Yeah,
is what
and so
happened in my
rightly you
journey.
have spoken. Yeah, yeah. And so honestly, you have spoken about your experience of publishing and not knowing, some things like, you were under the impression that you have to pay to get published, and ये तो ऐसे ही होता है. It takes a while, and which is
Actually, I
very
thought
true.
KDP is the only way of free publishing. Others are only paid. Because earlier I had been part of many anthologies, and they used to ask for money, like give us this money, we will publish your work, and we will provide certificate
Right,
and nothing else.
right.
So at
Okay.
that time I was very young, like I did not realize. So I just wanted my work to get published because I never thought to publish my book so early. I thought this is the step to go towards your book. So that happened
Right.
as the first step. I paid for participating in anthology. Then I paid to get published. After realizing this with the like with my third book, I am like making it sure I don't pay anything for publishing.
Right. And that's so important. We have to,
Yes,
make it clear here that you don't need to pay anyone to get published. It's not necessary for you to pay for promoting the books. Also, like
yes,
some of these things are very organic, and you don't need to shell out any pennies for your book reaching out to the right audience. Thank you for saying being so honest, and I completely understand that a lot of people in their enthusiasm to become an author, they don't do proper research, and they end up paying money to people for getting published, and there are absolutely no returns on that money spent.
yes, exactly. The worst part is there is no return of what you
Yeah,
invest. No, though it is a good investment, but if you have no return, then it does not make point because that investment does not
exactly.
require big to put. We can do it for free.
Yes, exactly. Right. Which brings me to my second question, Tani, because you have answered it this first question so honestly. I am very excited to know how you answer my next question, which is that what are the things that worked for you and the things that didn't work for you as an author? And what do you think that these things continue being the same over a period of time, or it is very dynamic, or does it change over time?
Okay, for this I have two things. If I talk about things that did not work, but they can be changed organically. was like I got some agencies and publishers reaching out to display my book in some book fair or some bookstore like Crossword or any other that is famous, and there are fairs for per day. They will ask some cost and they will say we will display your book, and they will just throw up their plan. This is our plan and this is our package and you have to do it. And your book will be like showcased at different places and it will get into limelight. But that also don't happen na,
Right.
because you are not that at that level that people know you. Until unless people know
Exactly.
you, I just feel this thing. Until unless people know you, they won't come to check out your work. Because only like I just feel what I have seen, the like people think the older authors, the famous authors are the people who write good books. They don't want to check out the new authors because I have been
Right.
reading
Right.
new authors past like 1.5 years, and I have found a very good books out of them. Though reading old authors or famous authors book is also good, but new authors are also writing good things. So that was one
Yes.
thing. Like again, paying for getting your work publicized is not that work for me. But if you have connections and you are a part of a community, that can help you. Like not everybody is asking for money. Maybe you can provide your book as a PDF, or you can provide an arc of your book, or you can just provide a book copy so that people can read and review. As most
Right.
of these days I see with people. So these things are working for me. That is connecting to the people, like-minded people, be it in reader community and writer community. So I have been a part of different communities these days, different reading clubs. So where there I make new friends who are with a similar interest, and I just share my
Right.
book with them or read their book. So that is how I'm learning and checking out how the things can work for better market in book publishing and promoting.
That's so wonderful. We have a few people commenting here. Author Monica Meena is saying so true. She's agreeing with you. And we have Pandey I am who I think they know you, and she's saying blessed to Beta,
He's
proud of you.
my teacher. He's my teacher from school.
Oh, how nice! Thank you for joining us. Yeah, he must be really proud of you. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my questions that I had for you, Tanvi. You have also read my book, and I leave the floor open to you now.
Yeah, so moving on to your book, let me just first show the cover page. How does it look? Actually, I tried like, is there a way to show, like not to show mirror image on Insta selfie, like live we are doing selfie. So I tried and Googled a thing, but there was no way. So the book is going to
We have
come up mirrored,
to,
but
yeah,
this,
we have to turn the camera.
yeah,
That's the only option.
yes. But this, like, your cover is such an amazing thing, na? So I just want to show them, like, this is how the cover looks like. This is the cover. Love and Melodrama is the name of the book, and this is how pretty it looks. So if you will read the book, you will realize in the book what the context is with that Candy's Sky Garden. So for that you have to read that book. So now I'm going to read a part of this book. After the discussing with Manali, I have come up to the part that I'm going to read. It's a bit poetic and it's the end part of the book that I also like very much, and I wanted to read it before all of you. Just a moment, let me get it.
Nilshi is here. Nilshi, thank you. I was waiting for you to join. I expected you to join from the
Hi
beginning. You are a little
Nilshri.
late.
Hi Shikana.
Hi, Sukana. Sukana is also here.
Yeah, she just joined, I guess. Yes, yes, Nilshri, you are
I am
late.
late. Yes.
There will be a
Late.
penalty.
Yes.
Just a moment,
Uh,
actually, I'm not getting that part. Just a moment, I need to scroll through the index. I just bookmarked. I don't know how is it missed.
it's okay. You can directly click on it from the
Yes,
menu,
I'm
table
just
of
going through
contents.
the menu.
We have a lot of people joining in. Thank you
Okay.
everyone for joining.
So this is the end part, but before epilogue. The chapter name is She Rose. So the chapter opens up with a quote: "Whatever happens, happens for the best. Maybe those who say and believe that have never really had to face the worst of life yet." So this is one of the quotes that is named under one of the characters of this book. I'm not going to disclose that name because that is one of the protagonists of this book. So let me read out few stanzas, poetic stanzas that are there. So the first one goes like this. To the grandmother who thought, so what if I don't have a grandson? Instead of, we need a boy child to carry forward the family lineage. And then made it possible for the women in the family to feel loved and accepted. To the mother who thought, I'll follow the same parenting style for all my children, instead of, I must treat my daughters differently from my son, and then change the way children were raised just a little bit. Then comes to the sister who said, of course we can share clothes and shoes, instead of, I can carry that off better than you. It happens, we are always fighting with our sisters, like please give me your clothes and all these things, and we just, it's a big fight. But we
Yes.
always share clothes. So this is how, this is like very beautiful. I can carry that off better than you. अगर कोई sister, if any sister says it like that, you carry it better than of me. So that is like very beautiful. Like life is at ease, and then make it possible for women under the same roof not to feel envious of each other. So let me just go to the end of this poem. To all the women who disprove the stereotypes and either break free from it themselves or help other women get away by smashing the patriarchy, by breaking the shackles of misogyny, by disrupting age-old notions of sexism. To us all who don't fall victim or accept things lying down, to each woman who cares, to all those who dare. We are all she-rose. We are all the she who rose. Together we can, we must, and we will for a better today. Then yesterday for a better tomorrow, then today for me, for all. So this is one of the poem that is the end part of the book. But don't get confused that it is about something about feminism or something related to girls. No, not at all. It is a romance fiction. So this book is romance fiction. So this was about the book. So I would like to know in the comments, how did you like that stanza that I read? So coming to like what are my reviews on this, like review of this book, actually I'm very reluctant to reading romance book. But when I found this book from Manali, when she told me about this book to review, I was like, should I do? Will I be a good person to review it? Like good critic to like review it? So I just wholeheartedly accepted it because I just wanted to read her book. Like I just like her writing style. I have read her blogs on other platforms, so I just like her writing style. So I just picked this book, and after reading it, I realized like I read around 4 or 5 romance novels last year, and I felt all was same. But after reading her book, it was like something different hit me. So it is a very simple and very creative novel. Though the um, though the characters are many, like if I talk about, I remember the name of the character as well. I generally don't remember the character of like 2 characters name, but there were many, and I remember the name of all. So that is something this book has left on me. That is the impact that book has left on me. So if you are someone looking for one more thing, I just want to add, there are pretty much good scenes in it where she has expressed so well. If you will read it now, you will definitely love it. So this is
Thank
like
you.
this. I'm not buttering or flattering. This is the truth. Even I just told my friends as well that this book you should read. Like you will definitely like this book. So this is something I
Thank you so
like
much.
direly recommend this book to you if you are a lover of romance fiction.
Thank you so
So
much.
this is
I
like
hope everyone
something.
who picks up the book enjoys it.
Yes, yes. So this is how about the book. So after reading her book and knowing her, like I recently started following it like around 4 5 months, I guess. So I have been reading her work so well. Like there are so many blogs. and so many short pieces she keep writing. So I have few questions to ask.
Okay.
How do you how do you maintain between writing block and the different challenges that come up, like writing challenges that we participate, and your book writing stuff. So, like, how do you juggle up between all these things? Your own work, writing block, and the writing challenges that come up.
Okay. So, I don't believe in the concept of writer's block. For me, it has always been like, I lack motivation, or I am not in the mood to write on a particular day, or maybe a few days together. There are days when I have gone like 10 to 15 days at a stretch where I have gone without writing anything. And I used to feel guilty about this before, but now this has changed, because I realized that my brain also needs a break. Creativity is not a faucet that you can turn on and off at your will, and my brain needs rest. But how I maintain it is that over the years of my experience as writing, I have been writing as since I was a teenager. Professionally, I have not been writing that long, but I have been engaged in creative writing since I was a teenager. So now, when I sit down to write, I am confident enough that when I sit down to write a particular piece, I will be able to finish it at one go in a single day, in a couple of hours. If it is a poem or a short fiction, I can definitely finish it in a single day within the working hours that I have. And that's how I am able to juggle between the different forms of writing that you're saying. So if
Yes,
I have
yes.
taken up the goal to finish two forms of writing in a day, I know that I will be able to write one poem and one blog in one day, because I have been writing consistently, and now I know that sitting on it for a couple of hours will be enough to give it, the kind of touch that I want to give and the kind of message that I want to give out in that particular piece of writing. So that's how I am able to maintain. Having said that, it's not necessary that this formula will fit for everyone. It You might be someone who wants to write regularly, so it's like whatever works for you, but don't force your brain to आज तो मुझे लिखना ही है वैसे नहीं हो पाएगा. Your brain also needs a rest and a particular kind of
Yes,
motivation.
yes, yes. Yes, I have been
So
also
like
writing
that
like since
motivation.
teenager. So I have also come
Hmm.
across the same thing. I used to force myself like I have to write it. I have to write it today. Otherwise, how will I practice? How will I improve?
Yes.
But with time, I understood and learned that it is not the way to write. We have to be creative and we have to write when our mind allows because it comes from
So
heart and
there is
mind.
something called, yeah, so there's something called as a muscle memory here concept, where if you have been doing something consistently, you don't really need to put in that much effort. So if writing is something that you have been doing consistently, like even if you are doing it 15 to 20 days in a month, the rest of the 10 days where you are not working, you are okay, because वो 15-20 दिन में आपने अपना 100% दिया है, so it's okay.
Yes,
Because you have been doing
exactly.
it consistently, you can rely upon your muscle memory that once you sit on it, you will be able to give it complete justice. You don't need to go back to it as much as somebody who is an amateur writer and who has to sit down on a particular piece for 10 times.
Exactly.
So
Like
that's
I have also learned this with time. Like, or it can only be learned with time when you realize how things are getting improved and how you are. If you are forcing yourself to write now, be it you write, but it won't satisfy you that much. So that is one
exactly.
thing I have
Yes.
learned with time. Okay, so
Yes.
my second question goes like, are there any authors or special books that have influenced your writing? Like recently you wrote fiction novel, you have been writing poetry. So are there any authors or books? Because you read a lot of books and you have read a lot of books. I know that. I told you that I have been following you daily like for past few months. So, so I know about reading and writing goals of yours. So that's how like I came across with this question. So if you would like to tell about any author or books that change your writing style.
So I have been reading before I began writing. So I began writing as a teenager, but I began reading when I was 8 years old, and I have never stopped. Like 8 साल की थी तब से शुरू हुआ है, तब से वो सिलसिला खत्म नहीं हुआ है. एंड इन माय लाइफ टाइम सो फार आई हैव read 500 plus books. वो भी I am giving an approximation. It might be 1000 also. 500 plus I am saying to make it a safe number because मुझे पता है 500 तो पक्का है. It could be more. So all the books that I have read, they have influenced my writing in some manner or the other. The good books have taught me what to do, and the bad books or the books that I did not enjoy. Let's not call them bad books. The books I did not
Yes.
enjoy. They taught me what not to do as a writer. Because if I am not enjoying it as a reader, I know that somebody else who will read similar book might not be able to enjoy it also. So you learn as you read. The more you read, it's like a tool of writing. The more you read, the better writer you will become. So that's what I keep saying, that every book that I have read has taught me something about writing. But if we do really want to focus on the authors that have shaped my writing, there are so many. Like there's Sidney Sheldon, इन इन ब्लाइटन के बिना तुम आई थिंक हम सबका बचपन ही अधूरा था. तो so that's definitely there. And in the recent times, because I have written a couple of novels and I wanted to understand how Indian writing works, uh, because I wanted that particular setting in my stories and my novels also. I can name a few Indian authors, like of course there's Chetan Bhagat, who changed the way we look at commercial writing. He commercialized writing like nobody else. So he's definitely there. So I might not agree with a few of his stories. I definitely want to give him credit for the way he has changed the way we look at books. So he's one. And then there are authors like Shilpa Suraj, Apeksha Rao, and like so many KDP and indie authors who have shaped and inspired me. Do you read Ravinder and Durjoy to write romance? I do actually, and I'm not going to shy away from admitting that I enjoy both the authors. I enjoy both both Ravinder and Durjoy's writing. In fact, to a point, I have read Shavi Sharma's books also. I know it's like getting into a hot debate of, about what kind of writing works. I did not particularly enjoy Savi Sharma's book, but yes, definitely she has also taught me how to go about writing in an Indian setting.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
can I
yeah, we can, like, choices are different. If you are enjoying something, that is your perspective. We can't judge other people's perspective for us. So that is
yes,
one thing I follow. Like, I see many people come up, oh, you did not like this book. I liked it very much. See, everybody is writing. That is not the case how it works. You
to
have to show your
each his
own
own.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yes.
to each his own, as a reader and as a writer.
Yes.
But I definitely say that the more you read, the better the chances are that you are, you know, a good writer when you begin your writing journey yourself. जितना
Yeah, I
पढ़ोगे
also read.
उतना
Okay, so can I sing?
okay.
I like
So
Savi. I
now
have
we come
also read her
to,
book. One
yeah,
of the
I
books of
have read a
Savi.
couple of her books. I have read a couple of her books. I don't necessarily enjoy them, but yes, as I mentioned, I have learned about writing from her also. So
Okay,
beautiful,
that's great.
Tanvi. Perspective matters a lot. Yes, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, now we come to my favorite part of the session, which is the rapid fire round. Are you ready, Tanvi?
Yeah, I'm
How
ready.
we'll do this is one question I will ask and one question you ask. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
I will ask my first question, which is tell me something that has been the best compliment and the worst remark for your writing.
Okay, so first should I go with worst or the best? As your sequence is
Your
best
call.
and worst.
Your call.
So I'll
I
go
always
with
go worst
the,
and then the best.
sorry.
I always go with worst and then the best. End on
Yeah,
a good
same.
note.
Yes, and on a good note. So the worst compliment that I received, that was last year, I guess, about my poetry book. So one of the like, she was also an author, a poet itself. She just told me, you don't have a sense of writing a poetry, and these kind of things she told me, and she did not put a criticism, like critic or the or say criticism
What she didn't
positive.
like. Yeah.
positive criticism on my book. Instead, I recently noted I was just scrolling through my book. I just saw a 1 star. There was 1 star for one, and there was no rating. I just check out the name, so I realized. So this happened after because I thought there would be review. I did not check the review, but instead of putting a review, she just gave me 1 star and walk off. After that, we did not have any conversation or anything like that. So that was something worse. But yeah, I can also improve with that. I just tried to improve my poetry, and recently I just got recognized for that as well. So I'm like happy that she did that time. So if I talk about the best ones, so there are many, like best are always good. Like so, it is from yours. So like the pages or the chapters of the book act like a friend. For so and the other was like somebody wrote it's a practical guide of like beautiful chapters guiding you through the life. So these two are the ones that I could figure out from Amazon. I just called Amazon to check them out.
Okay, wow, that's so beautiful. I can
So
totally understand.
yes, yes. So I did not take it too hard because you like I'm telling you now. I just found it recently. Actually, somebody posted a review, so I was checking out. Then I checked 1 star. Who gave this 1 star? Then I checked the name and I realized, yeah, it happened last year, and I did not even check because I was unaware of that thing. It's like stabbing from the back. It felt
Yeah.
like that because I was unaware like there is something like that because usually we keep checking on reviews and other things, and we obviously know who are people. When people review, they come and tell us about the book. So at that time I
Hmm.
was, because I remember I checked it right away at that time if the review is there. So that was not there at that time. So this is
Okay.
something. But yeah,
Yeah.
that I was writing my new book. Like I was working on my new book, so I had like negative thoughts. Will it be the same? Will it happen to be? I discussed with
That
one of my
that
friends.
always hangs in the back of your mind. You know, it affects
Yeah,
your current work.
and that too, it came when I was writing the new one.
Yeah.
So like I was about to not writing, I was about to complete, and I was about to
Hmm.
submit it for.
Okay. Oh wow.
And then
So
I
you
then
were
I saw it.
thinking, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, should I go with it or not? So that is how that affected me recently. But I know like these kind of keep things will keep coming because I have also seen this thing. People don't feel about your what you feel about their review. They just write random shit. They if they will
Yeah.
like,
So,
na they will write very good. Sometimes they write honestly, like honest
hmm,
reviews are there. I know that is positive criticism, but sometimes people just randomly write without even reading the book. So
hmm.
that is something I just don't like personally
So can I say
because
it
that
happened with Kansana Banerjee where they wrote about the author being an average writer rather than their experience? Exactly. Don't talk about the author, no. Talk about the content of the book. Talk
yes,
what you didn't like about that particular story or their,
hmm,
way of writing. Why are you targeting the person who wrote it?
yes, yes, exactly. Like I generally pick up the books. Like my ratings go 4 or 5. One book was there for which I won't take the name of the author or the book. That story was something like I was hesitating for writing that review, but I tried not to be negative in that as well. I just tried to put it positively, but somehow the author did not like it. So I was like,
So,
okay. When people will give you 1 star and they will write shit, then you will like it. So that was something. My reaction to that, when I am trying to be humble and be honest, then you don't like it and you are cursing me. Like she literally wrote me 5, 10 messages cursing me about that. So I thought, so I thought I am on the wrong road now. After that, I tried
yeah,
to be very conscious about picking up any book so that I can write
yeah.
review, and people will not hate me for that.
Right. Oh my
Like
God. Oh,
it
we
is
have
like
we
Sachi,
have opened a can of worms here.
Sachi घटनाओं पे आधारित.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, end this now, or we'll go on and on. Your first question from me.
So my first question is real life emotion that you find difficult to put up it into poetry, because poetry is
Uh,
mostly about emotion that are brings from inside our heart.
yeah,
So
I can do emotional poetry very well. I'm not saying this out of vanity. मुझे पता है मेरी ability as a poet. Please don't misunderstand me. But I don't do humorous poetry that well. I have not even tried it that much, but I am not able to put my sense of humor into poetry as well as I am able to put it into fiction and stories. I am not able to put it into poetry as much. So that's one thing that I'm working on.
okay, that's good to hear. Like every day we learn new and we improve on that. Like we need not improve,
Yes,
we add value to our work.
yes, it's an add-on, definitely.
Yes.
Okay. My next question to you: what's the latest piece of writing you have done? Read out a few sentences from it.
Okay, as I mentioned, I have just finished my new book. So I would like to read I would like to read few lines from it. So this is the opening
Okay.
poem of
This
that
is
book.
exciting.
Like
Okay. Okay.
I won't tell what it is about and how it is, because till now it's not into publishing. Otherwise, I would have told. So I'm just going to read this whole line.
No, no, I completely understand. Read out one poem. Yeah.
Okay, let me just read. Okay, 8 lines. Actually, it is a sonnet and it will be just 14 lines. So I just want to read 8 lines. Uh, do you remember
Okay.
those good old times when everything seemed a song of praise? I started to convey my thoughts as rhymes without realizing the end of that phase. I grew up amidst the hustle of life, climbing the ladder of success standing, choose what would be my next ride. I was in a dilemma to be wise in deciding. So this is the part of that. A Journey's Quest is the name of this poem.
It's so
So this is
beautiful, but
something.
I'm intrigued.
Actually, I just wrote it recently itself. Like for that book itself, I wrote it recently. At the end, after completing my manuscript, I wanted to start it with an opening poem. So I just wrote this part.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm
Yeah.
really intrigued, and I would love to read more of such poetry. So this is going to be a
Yes,
poetry
yes.
book. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a poetry
Wonderful.
book. This will be my second poetry and the third in all book.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, Tanvi. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it. Congratulations
yeah.
and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
your next question for me. Yes.
my next question is best romance stories have. That is a fill in the blanks. Best romance stories have.
Best romance stories have drama.
I just saw a film today. I just saw a film today, and there was something like there was a writer who was writing story of the protagonist of that film told him that तुम्हारी मूवी में स्यापा नहीं है इसीलिए वो नहीं अच्छी
Yeah,
अच्छी बन पा रही so I was
that is so true. You need drama.
so from there it comes you need drama in romance story.
Also, my protagonist also in the story says, now you don't want to read a rom-com where you don't you are not rooting for somebody who's not exciting enough.
Yes, yes.
So that's definitely there. If you want a good romance, it has to have drama and conflict. वरना तो क्या मतलब रोज तो तुम्हारी लाइफ है ही डल. बुक भी डल ही पढ़ोगे क्या यार?
Exactly. Yes. After all, this is what for we watch movies and read books when it is about romance.
Yes, exactly. Which brings me to my next question. We were talking about Indian authors. So my question to you is that an Indian author you feel that who needs more global exposure?
Okay, Indian author, like there are many. Actually, I told you now I read new authors, so I can name like new authors itself who need more exploration, because we all are like budding authors, kind of like maybe we have written books, but to grow up, we need more global exposure, because I can see like most of our books are from like they are spread globally. They can be available globally. So there are many like female authors, I would say, because I in my surroundings that I have read few books from, like I can suggest your name. I can suggest one. There is one coach, Devjani. I read her book. That was a self-help book. That was sweet and crisp, and that was amazing. There were practical guides in that. I would suggest
Okay.
Nilshri's name. I just recently I came across Aurora. Aurora is also a very good writer, so I can suggest her name. So they are like I can just suggest the names of the recent authors whom I have read. Like I can't suggest any renowned author who is very very famous in India and need global
Actually, it's
exposure.
yeah.
So that I won't comment upon because I have not read that much book from other like famous authors. So
Yeah, and
who may
actually
need
that's what
global
I have
exposure.
also been doing. I am here. Yes, Nilshri, she just recommended your name. Your name needs more global recognition.
She's saying kitchen में हूँ. Like sometimes I feel people will say I just keep taking two three names, but I like I keep reading new people. So these are few names that I will remember for my life, I guess. So I will keep taking these names again and again. Maybe some add-ons will come in future, but for now these are the names I would like to take.
That is really sweet. Thank you so much. Nilshri is saying, but listening. Okay, thank you.
She is having a ears to us. Like, what are you talking about? What are you going to talk about other people? I'm listening.
I want all the gossip. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So, with this, I come up to my next question. Since we are talking about poetry quite some time, so I just wanted to ask, uh, to with whom, like with which historical poet you would like to co-author a poetry?
Oh, wow, this is interesting. Of course, Shakespeare first, but like I'm sure, even if we were born in the same era, he would have been unreachable. Like, कहाँ हूँ कहाँ मैं ऐसा ही हो जाता.
Never say
And
like this.
Shakespeare
You
and
just
Robert
need to
Frost.
Robert Frost.
Yes,
Two
definitely.
roads
Because वो जो
diverge.
lovely dark and deep आया, वो lines तो मतलब मेरी life है. वो जो lovely dark and deep. I
Yes,
have
yes,
promised it to you.
definitely.
Miles to go before I sleep.
Yes, that's for
So yes,
me as well.
Shakespeare and Robert Frost.
And I would have taken these two names itself. If I would have asked this question, I would have taken these names because the first poetry of my next book is somewhat inspired from one of the books, poetry of Shakespeare. Its theme is similar from that
Oh,
Shakespeare's
wow,
one of the poems.
that's so interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
that's
is
really
what.
interesting.
Yeah, maybe it won't be that good, but I have tried to make it complete at least. Like people can relate it to that. So that is how
Okay,
it is.
okay,
So yeah.
okay, okay. So my next question to you is, as I was mentioning earlier, that reading is like a tool for writing. It's necessary. If you want to be a writer, you have to be a reader. So according to you, besides reading, which is another such activity that every or most writers should engage in, which is like an add-on to
Okay.
the creativity of writing.
Okay, so whenever like I'm just writing sitting on my desk, sometimes I feel bored and I want something new. I just need the surroundings. So what I feel is traveling is one of the things that will be an add-on because traveling give you ways to explore, meet new people. So that is something that will give you the way to read and write more. So that is
Correct.
something
Yes.
add-on that is required. So for me, traveling is one thing that I feel needs
I
to be
also
there.
agree with that. Yeah, and not only do you see new places and you meet new people, different cultures, there's also
Yes.
a very high chance that while traveling you self-discover. You come to
Yes,
know aspects about yourself also which have been hidden from you for so long.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
that's another
Like,
thing.
yeah, because I just recently went on my first solo trip, and that was an another level of experience. I met very good people. They are friends with me right now as well. So that
Okay.
is something I just loved about solo traveling.
And I'm sure you learned new things about yourself or you picked up new skills while traveling alone. Huh? That's another thing that,
Yeah, exploring. Like I am very reluctant to like find and go to places alone. I remember there were no vehicles as on, and that was in mountains. So I walked alone for 4 5 kilometers. I never do that. I can't do that. Like I'm very afraid. Like something can happen to me. So I just went alone. I had my breakfast there. I read a book there. So all these things I did for the first time.
yeah, yeah. So this can only happen when you are traveling. Right? Like you discover
Yes,
aspects about
exactly.
yourself, which obviously will inspire you to convert into some kind of content in your writing.
Yes, exactly. So that was like self-awakening or poetic or creative calling, being traveling there
Hmm.
and writing something. So that is something that I
Yeah,
have learned.
wonderful. Okay. Your
Uh, we
next
have
question.
we have been talking a lot. So like we when we write, we sometimes feel tired or we feel hungry. So what is your go-to snack while writing, or you don't eat anything while writing? Please don't say that. I need an answer for that. What is your go-to snack while writing?
No, no, it's not like that. I don't eat at all when I'm writing, but I do avoid. Yes, because I'm very like blah about my laptop getting sticky and something falling on it. So I do
Hmm.
avoid. But my go-to snack would always be a bar of chocolate, or a cup of hot chocolate, or maybe a cup of green tea. Like my favorite flavor of dip tea, which is mint flavored, lemon and mint.
Okay.
So I would have
Yeah.
that. That inspires. I am a little different from what the stereotypes believe that writers को coffee बहुत पसंद है. I am not one of those.
Yeah, these days ग्रीन टी भी बहुत पसंद है एक्चुअली आई वुड से कॉफी तो पसंद है लेकिन ग्रीन टी वाले लोग ज्यादा हैं बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो वन ऑफ देम आई ऑल्सो लाइक द सेम फ्लेवर दैट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मिंट एंड लेमन लाइक
हाँ,
single handedly I don't like I like both together so
yeah.
I know that feeling how it feels when people say writers को केवल कॉफी पसंद होती है because I like both of the things.
Exactly. So, ज़्यादा मतलब I do like coffee. ऐसा नहीं that I dislike coffee, but if I have to choose between coffee and green tea, I would first go for green tea.
That's good. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Which brings me to my last question, and I always ask this because I'm hungry for new content always. So, the last book that you have read, or a movie or series that you have watched, and which you would recommend to everyone, and why?
Okay, so if I talk about book or like, I want to talk about book because I'm more into books than watching movie. Although I watched a movie today itself, but I would like to talk about the book. If there will be time, I'll tell about the movie as well. So the book I read was
Okay.
Free Your Mind. Free Your Mind. It was again a self-help book. Uh, I read comment, like I reviewed that book and I just put it is kind of a reminder. Like it's a book which tells you about like how to free your mind. Like as the name suggests, now free your mind. It is exactly the same. It will tell like free your mind out of what things by getting happiness by
Okay.
removing stress all these things it is telling like there were 9 chapters in that so that is
Okay.
one of the books I would recommend itself like because it is a reminder when we are struggling or we are stuck somewhere in
Hmm.
life when we are feeling like what is happening why everything is shattering so all these things get happening so in that case that book will definitely help and it is a very short book so
Okay.
it is one book that I recommend and movie that I watched today. Like I was again going to say read because I keep reading instead of watching. So it was like it was एक लड़की को देखा तो I guess यही नाम था ना एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा
हाँ, ये फिल्म देखा
it was
था ये
about yeah
सोनम कपूर एंड
I
कुमार।
yeah yeah Sonam Kapoor and the hero. So I watched this movie today, and I was unaware that such kind of movies have been made on this theme to
LGBTQ,
to
yes.
educate, yeah, educate people about the LGBTQ. So that is something people should watch to learn that things are getting changed, and we should appreciate and we should respect everybody, be it whichever way it is. So these two things,
Okay.
book and movie,
I'm
the
yet
free
to
your
watch
mind
that
and
movie, and I have been told by, yeah, I've been told by a few people that I should watch that movie. I'll check it out. You reminded me
yeah.
that I need to catch that movie.
Yeah, actually, when it began, I thought it was something like family drama or something. When I went till the middle part, and then I realized no, it was having something different. So I just I can't like wait. I just put my phone and I was doing my work. I just watched that movie until and unless I completed it, it was on.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay. Atna, इतनी अच्छी तो है that it makes you stop doing your work. Okay.
okay,
We have Yash here who's asking, who's saying hey there, and what are we chatting about? So Yash, we were talking about a recently read book and a recently watched movie that Tanvi just recommended. She recommended the book. Which was that book? Free
free
Your
your
Mind.
mind.
Free Your Mind, and she recommended the movie एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा. That's the end of questions I had for you. I think you have one more question remaining.
Yeah, yeah, actually, I just wanted to ask about like recently you published one of your book, Night of Arm. I just want to wait. I will say the right name. It is Nisha. Knight in a shining armor. Knight in shining armor. Yeah, I remember that phrase. By that, I was remembering the name, Knight in shining armor. So that is a poetry book. I will be reading that soon. So I just wanted to know what are your other future plans? Like, what about the other book? Like now, what are you going to write? Would you like to put some light on that? Like recently, you wrote romance books, then poetry. What next?
I I don't want to give false hopes to people, but I am working on a thriller because after romance, thriller is the one genre that I have read and enjoyed the most. It's my second favorite. Second favorite भी नहीं बोल सकते. I think there's a tie between romance and thriller. As a reader and as an audience, these are the two genres that I enjoy the most. So yes, I'm working on a thriller, but
Yeah.
I don't know when it is going to come out, and I don't want to give false hopes. That's why.
Yeah, this is the end of like my list is finished. These were the questions I wanted to ask you.
This was so much fun, Tanvi. For one last time, if you can hold out my book and I will hold out the cover of your book.
Actually, no, I can. You are coming like your pixels are broken in the camera. I don't know whether it will come clear from mine or not.
Wait, अब जा रहा है? Here?
No, no problem. You take the picture. I'll. You can share with me.
Yes. So these are the books that we were discussing today. For those of you who joined us late, yes, screenshot
Yeah.
is taken. So that was Tanvi's book, Tanvi's Life Secret, and she was holding my book, Love and
Yeah, this
Melodrama.
is love and
I know
melodrama,
Tanvi
romance
very
fiction.
well since so Pandey ji is saying, I know Tanvi very well since her childhood. She used to be a prodigy. Yes, and she continues to be a prodigy.
Thank you so much.
This was so much fun, Tanvi. I hope we can do this again soon. For that, you'll have to
Yes,
write one more
definitely.
book. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying now, as soon as my other book will come now, I will do it again. Actually, what I thought about this, how it will go, it was completely different. I did not feel like people are watching me or something like that. It was like I was just chatting and people were commenting on that. So that was all what happens in WhatsApp group. But it was more little interesting than that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I made you comfortable. I remember we were discussing that this is your first live and you were a bit anxious about it. I'm very happy to hear that it went well for you. And I actually
Yes, yes,
enjoyed talking
definitely.
to you. And I
Yeah,
want to
this
do it
was
again soon.
like
So speed
warming
up your writing.
conversation with you. Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
giving me
everyone.
this opportunity. Yeah.
My pleasure. And thank you everyone who joined us. And for you
Thank you,
also, Tanvi. Thank
everyone.
you for being such a wonderful guest. This video will be up on my Instagram and on my YouTube channel for those of you who would like to go back and see the entire conversation. Thank you for joining me and have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Bye,
And
everyone.
before I sign off, one more reminder for everyone who's watching. My books are available at the National Book Fair in Indore, and I am going to be present on Sunday in Indore for 1 hour from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So, those of you who are in Indore, please come meet me. I would love to give the signed copies of all the three books that are available at the stall to you. I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Tanvi. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.